People, get ready for Tami Live, a celebration of life. Tami Live seeks to inspire, motivate, and uplift as a positive, happy, motivated, energetic person who highlights optimistic energy. Get ready to laugh, get ready to dance, get ready to celebrate life with Tami Live, starting right now.
Hello and welcome to Tami Live. Today on the show, I hope to be educated, and I know you will be as well. Today we're talking about girlfriends. By now, I think all of us have seen Sex and the City, or we've watched Girlfriends on BET. But girlfriends, does that really exist? My guest today says, sometimes it doesn't. But when it does, it is fabulous. You don't want to miss Tami Live. It's all about girlfriends today. Stay tuned. Tami Live will be right back.
You're watching JTV.
We're back! Welcome back to Tami Live. If you've just tuned in, today we're going to be speaking about girlfriends. And who better to speak about it than someone who actually has girlfriends? Pat?
Hey, Tami.
So happy to have you here with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Now I want to talk about girlfriends because I really saw it on television, saw Sex and the City, loved it, saw Girlfriends, and sometimes I think to myself, can four women really have fun, go out all the time, depend on one another? Talk about your experience with your girlfriends.
Yes, that can happen. For me, it happened. I think you meet friends when you go off to school, and they become your lifelong friends, and that's what happened for me. I went away to school. I met folks in school. I met folks when I started my new job, and then we became a group of women that hung out with each other, dependent on each other for different things. In the wintertime, my car broke down. I can call my girlfriend Sabrina, and she'll tell me, I'm coming to get you. And then she'll leave her car. She has left her car with me and said, until your car gets fixed, you can have my car, and I'll let ride with my dad. That's what a girlfriend does. When you're at your lowest, she picks you up, and when you get together, you just have a good time together with each other. You can trust and depend on that person. So yes, I do know, I don't think they exist. I know girlfriend scenarios exist because I've been a part of some pretty good girlfriend situations while I was away.
Okay, so you talked about while you were away. Now you're from the Virgin Islands, but you've lived in Chicago for many years, forever, and now you're back home.
And now I'm back home.
So now you were in the U.S., you had your girlfriends, but coming back home.
The transition and the shift back hasn't been as easy. And I'm surprised that it has been as easy as I thought it was going to be. I think I was a little delusioned coming home. I figured if it works so well for me on the mainland, making the shift back to folks who are supposed to be just like me would make it easier, but I find that's not the case. It's a little bit more work.
Why do you think that is? Because you spoke about the fact that when you've had your girlfriends, you've met them at university, and somewhat there's a journey of friendship.
Yes.
But now you're back and you're meeting new people. You're saying it's difficult. Why do you think that is?
Some of it might be that the women here are probably involved in their own everyday life, and taking the time out to get to know and cultivate friendships is not something that they've actually worked on like I have worked on in the past. So for me, I made the assumption that coming home, I'm going to meet people at work. We're going to connect. We're going to do other things. Even though we have husbands and boyfriends, we still make time to spend that separate time together. But I find that has not been the case since I've been here. I don't know if the women are as easy to approach in that manner.
Do you think it's a cultural thing? Do you think it is?
It's possible it's a cultural thing because I'm trying to watch my words on.
That's okay, this is Tami Live.
Don't offend nobody in the process.
Right, but no, you're having difficulty. And again, when we talk here, it's not general. This is something that you're experiencing.
It's something that I'm experiencing. And I find, for me, approaching the women here is not as easy as other places I've lived. I'll give you, for instance, one day I was at church, and I saw this lady. And I'm accustomed and comfortable enough with myself that if I see somebody who looks well, I can walk up to you and say, boy, you are working that outfit. Well, you would have thought I had told the woman something bad.
Something negative.
Because my husband was like, what'd you say to her? I said, I just told her she looked good. I don't know what happened.
She took offense to you saying that she's working her outfit? Mm-hmm. Really?
She never said thank you. She just kind of curled her lips a little bit and walked away. And I'm like, okay.
If I think about it too, I think sometimes people may think that even though you're saying something nice, you might be trying to say something to hurt them. And so before they even think about it or say thank you, they're thinking, well, why did she say that to me? So maybe that could be it. Maybe later in the day, she realized that you're paying her a compliment.
Isn't that sad to be to the place where you think that everybody's out to get you in some manner?
Very true.
I do not believe in that. I believe we all are here for each other's support. And if I can support you in some manner, I'd like to be able to do that. And I'm hoping, in my little naivete, that everybody else would like, women would like for me to do that for them, and I'd like them to do it for me as well. So if that's the case, that's something we're going to have to work on.
Right.
Everybody's not out to get you. Sometimes it's just, hello is just that, hello.
Right.
It's
just
nothing
that.
else. It's just hello.
But you have some women too, and I think when I speak to women anyway, some of the things I get back from them is that, you know what, I've done that sisterhood thing. I've had a girlfriend, I've had girlfriends, and I have been hurt. Some women say, everybody has to be my business. There are girls who want to know where you are all the time, every second of the day. How is your husband? Is he good to you? Is he bad to you? Is he hurting you? I think there are some women who want to get into your business. Do you experience that with your girlfriends?
No. What I find with my girlfriends, I'll tell the story, but when I was coming home to get married, none of them had ever met my boyfriend, my then boyfriend. But 8 of my girlfriends came home for the wedding, and they met him then. And they spent time with him separate and apart. And then after, when they were leaving, we hung out together the night before they left. And they said, we feel comfortable leaving you behind because we know he's going to take care of you. Because of the time we spent with him, he has a good spirit. And I trust them with that. So when they call me now, they call me and say, how's my brother doing? Because he's now incorporated into the friendship, just like I incorporated their husbands into our friendships. So when I said, with my friendships in Chicago, beyond just the girlfriend friendship, there's a whole group friendship where as a group we all go out, we go to each other's house. My last Thanksgiving before I came home, we spent it at one of my friend's house in Lake Geneva. And it was like about 15 or 16 of us. All the women cooked, the guys were outside cooking, grilling and barbecuing, but we were a group.
Right.
And it was just about friendships. I know it can happen. So I came home thinking I'd be able to cultivate some of those same things here. And well, give me time. It's only been 2 years, so we'll see.
It'll take some time because, again, I think, because I have girlfriends, but it's a 15-year relationship. And perhaps you just need to start that process.
But my best friend and I clicked.
Instantly.
Instantly.
And you're looking for that click here, too.
And it hasn't happened yet.
Okay, but
I just haven't met her.
There's still hope.
There's still hope. There's
Right?
always hope. There's always hope.
There's always hope. In the Virgin Islands, in the Caribbean, men hang out all the time. Is sisterhood different from that? You think?
No.
Same thing.
Same thing. But I don't know if we in the Caribbean welcome it among women as well as much as we do among men. We are raised that women stay home and men go out and hang out. And I think that's some of what
You're experiencing here.
fosters what we have here.
Right.
I remember when I was little, I wanted to go to a sleepover one time. And my dad was like, well, the last time I checked, you had a perfectly good bed in your room. So exactly why you want to go spend the night at some other girl's house is beyond me. I never went.
And that's why I say to you, it may be cultural.
Some of it is cultural.
Because my father told me the exact same thing.
Yeah. So some of it is cultural. And the only houses I got to go to were my cousins. So I fostered relationships with my girl cousins.
Right, with your family.
With my family.
More than just someone you met in school.
Exactly.
Okay, so it could be a cultural thing.
It could be.
Okay. When we come back, I'm going to ask Pat what she really, truly misses about her girlfriends. Tami Live will be right back.
You're watching JTV.
Welcome back to Tami Live. If you've just tuned in, we're speaking about girlfriends. My friend Pat is speaking about her experiences and letting us know that girlfriends really exist. And when it exists, it's such a wonderful experience. But she is talking about some of the challenges that she's having. Right now, I want to turn back to you and just talk about some of the traits for us to really be girlfriends. What traits, what kind of characteristics, what kind of attributes?
Okay. My girlfriend she's trustworthy. I trust her. She trusts me. She is honest. She knows how to hold me accountable. And she's just downright fun to be with.
Talk about accountability. So I don't think a lot of people like for someone to say, you know what, you just did not do that right. You shouldn't have done that. Or they don't want people to correct them. Talk a little bit about that.
But if you establish a real good relationship with your girlfriend, she knows you. And she knows the good parts of you. She knows the bad parts of you. She knows who you are because you've spent the time together getting to know each other. So when you go off on a tangent, she recognizes it. Even sometimes you may not recognize it because sometimes we don't all self-correct. But if you have a good girlfriend, she will self-correct you. I'm talking about my girlfriend Bree all the time. Bree tells me, one of the things she tells me when I'm going off on the edges, she's like, Pat, you're a smart girl, but you're not paying attention right now. And this is where you went off. So I'm comfortable with her to say, Sabrina, I just did so-and-so. What do you think about it? Or if I'm about to do something, I call her and say, you know what, this came up. How do you think I should handle this? Or this is what I'm about to do. What do you think? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? If it's a bad idea, she's like, girl, that's a bad idea.
Because they're looking out for you. They want
She
what's best
she
for
wants
you.
what's best for me, and I want best for her. What's best for her? Because one of the things we say among ourselves, because one of my youngest is also one of my absolute best friends, and we said to each other, my mission is to make you look good. Because when you look good, I look fabulous. And there's nothing wrong with me helping you look good because somewhere down the road, you're going to reciprocate and do the same thing for me. So that's what girlfriends do. Girlfriends, when I see some girls out and they look not quite put together right, I'm like, she doesn't have a girlfriend. Because a girlfriend would tell her, that dress makes you look crazy.
Yes.
Don't do it again. I've done it to my friends, and they've done it to me. As a matter of fact, my youngest sister lived with me, and I'm getting ready for church, and I'm coming out of my room. She's like, go on back in the room and get you something else, because that's not it today.
And it's not to hurt you.
No, it's them so that I don't go out there and look like a nut.
Or you see people hanging out together, they're socializing, and they've been talking for a long time, and one of them will have something in their teeth. And you will come into the conversation, and you will say, wait, why didn't her girlfriend say?
Exactly.
But you got
my
something
baby
in your
girl.
teeth. Right. With my girlfriends, we'll do a check with each other. Do I look good? Do I look good?
Exactly.
To make sure that when you step out, you're stepping on your best foot.
Exactly. And that's what a girlfriend does. She is there for you. Your girlfriend is the girl who's going, you in a fight, she's going to jump in with you, beat the person down, and we get to say, so what were we fighting about, really?
Because there's that trust.
Because there's a trust that you must be
fighting for
it
something.
must be something good she's fighting for.
Right.
And I'm not going to let her go down like that. And we go, so what was that?
Right.
And then if I was wrong, she'd be like, girl, you got me involved in some foolishness that we did not need to get involved in.
It'll be two of you in the jail cell.
Exactly. So.
Right. As one of my girlfriends, she says, when like if I got into something and I need to get out of it, and she said, what are we going to do? And I've always loved that about her. It's not, hey, what are you going to do? Because it's not our problem.
Right. And I like the ability to just talk things out, because sometimes for us girls, we're not looking for a solution. We just need somebody to hear our side of the story, say what we have to say. She commiserates with me, woo, 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 and it's done. I find you can't do that with guys as easily because they want to jump in and fix it. I don't necessarily want it fixed. I may know it can't be fixed, and she knows that too. So we spend girlfriend time talking about it, saying, girl, I understand. I hear where you're coming from, that kind of stuff.
Just to have somebody to
listen to you. Yes.
Can I have girlfriends and still have a great marriage?
Yes. Yes, you can. You incorporate your husband into the mix. He needs to get to know your girlfriends.
So that's what's happening with you, like he knows
He knows that.
And you find that helps the situation?
When they call to speak to me, they speak to him as well.
Because why I ask is because when you see Sex in the City and you see girlfriends, they're single. So do you think that married women, you're saying yes, married women can have girlfriends and it not affect their relationship with their husbands or their boyfriends or whoever?
Yes, because my group of friends from Chicago, there was a group of us that were single, but there's a few of them that were also married. Like my group of friends, there's 6 of us that travel together. 2 of them, yeah, like when we want to do like an exotic trip somewhere.
6?
6, yeah.
That's a lot of women together. Happy-go-lucky going?
Happy-go-lucky with 3.
Wow.
And then everybody knows each other well enough to know that sometimes if something's going on, you might want to back, oh, she don't feel like it today, so back up off of her. Without me having to say, go get away from me, to like, give her a timeout. Or I could say, okay, she's feeling away right now, so.
Because you know each other
other that well, so you know how to separate. And you don't all stay in the same room. You get 3 rooms, lady, 2 a room, everybody get their own bed. Yeah, so we've done some fun stuff together.
Tell us.
We flew to Singapore for 2 weeks and enjoyed Singapore. We've done Thailand. We've done Curacao. And the last trip before I came home to get married, we went to Costa Rica for 7 days.
Nice.
Did the zip lining, all the stuff that we wouldn't do on our own. because your other girls are there, you will do it. Because one of my friends, Geneva, is such a baby. So we were going ziplining. You know what ziplining is?
Yes.
So we walk up the hill, and we turn around. Geneva's crying.
Oh.
Because she's afraid. We're like, Geneva. So we're like, Geneva, you don't have to go.
Right.
You can stay here, and we will meet you at the bottom. She's like, no. I'm going to go. We're like, all right, then, shut up and let's go.
Right.
And she had a ball.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But she would not have done that on her own.
Her own. And
But
that's
she
what
was
girlfriends,
with the rest of us. She went ahead and did it and had a good time.
that's what girlfriends are supposed
That's
to do.
exactly.
Give you that boost up. Yes?
That step up.
So there's still hope there, because I have hope for you. But 6 is a lot, I have to say, Pat. I don't think I've ever experienced that.
6 girlfriends?
6 girlfriends going together one time? Mm-hmm. No.
Yes.
But now through you, I can say, okay.
Because you and then like you said, you find that there's some of them, because the way that worked out for us is my sister and I are, like I said, we're best friends, and some of her friends have been incorporated and became my friends, and some of my friends have become her friends. And now that I'm not there, and she's no longer in Chicago right now because she's doing her own thing in Indianapolis for the moment, those folks have still hung out together. When she flies in for the weekend to Chicago, she spends half her time with one, half her time at the other one's house, and they all just do things on the
Get
weekends
together.
still.
What do you miss the most about having your girlfriends with you? Because now they're, 2 hours, 3 hours away.
I wish it was that little bit.
How much?
Chicago is like 5 hours away.
5 hours.
Yeah.
That's a long.
Yeah.
So you can't just say, I'm going to step over to Puerto Rico kind of thing.
No.
So there must be days when you're having those rough moments and your girlfriends aren't there to
I
give you that,
miss-
support.
I miss the camaraderie. I miss the just being there, the just supporting, and just hanging out, and just calling somebody on a dime and saying, I just saw something on TV. Let's try that. We all were up on the north side of Chicago taking belly dancing lessons because one person saw it on TV. Next month, we're doing hula hoop classes, because Chicago offers all kinds of stuff. Or else, I'm a foodie. I'm a foodie. So I discovered a new restaurant. So I'm like, I just saw this thing on Food Hound. Let's go try this new restaurant. And I can call them and we'll meet and go to the restaurant and just have a good time. Or, like I was telling you, at one year, 6 of us weren't dating. And it was Valentine's Day. And we're like, what are we going to do? We decided, well, we're going to date ourselves. So we hired a private chef. The chef came to my house and laid out everything and made a 6-course meal for 6 women for Valentine's Day. And we enjoyed each other.
Yes.
We weren't sad that there's nobody in our lives. We're like, well, maybe there's always next year. Who knows?
Because you had each other.
We had each other. And since then, 3 of the 6 of us are married.
Oh, okay.
And we weren't dating at the time at all.
But you were able to have that support and have a great
And
time.
we had a great Valentine's Day. We had better Valentine's Day than some of the couples. I believe that to be so.
To be so. Mm-hmm. What advice do you have for women who are looking at this show now and saying, I just don't believe that's real, or I've had girlfriends and I've been hurt, I've been burnt, and I'm not doing that ever again?
You know what? Because sometimes we get girlfriends and we think they're supposed to be with us forever. Everybody that comes into your life don't come into your life forever. They come in for a reason. They come in for a season. And then what our problem is, we hold on to folks that we shouldn't hold on to. In moving home, I've had to let go of some folks. My core has shrunk with me coming home.
Right.
And even when I was there, there's some folks that hung on to our group for a minute, and it expanded from 6 to like 8. And then those folks went on to do other things. One of the girls, we added a girl for a while. Her name is Tami. And she started hanging out with us, and we do things together. And then she got offered an opportunity to go teach at Yale. But she had gotten so comfortable with us in Chicago, she was thinking about not going to Yale. We were like, how often do Yale come looking for little black girls? You better get thee hither to Yale, and we will work it out from this end.
Because you wanted the best.
Because I want the best for her. I said, okay, so you go to Yale, you stay for a year. You don't like it, you at least have in your resume now, you can put professor at Yale.
Right, right. Because that's what girlfriends
so
are about.
and get that. Make your resume look good. We look good too, because now we can say we have a friend that taught at Yale.
Right, and you can now celebrate
her.
Her.
And the
Excellent.
day before she left, we had a huge party. She had a good time, and we're like, go on and conquer. And she's still at Yale. It's like 4 years later.
Excellent. Pat, I've learned something new from you.
What'd you learn, girl?
I've learned that you can go on a vacation with 6 girls. I have 3, and I have different sets is what I have. And so I have this set here, this set here, this set here.
You don't like your worlds to collide. You keep your words separate.
I don't even know if I'm doing that in my own making. It's just the way it is right now. But I've always, when you talk about your girlfriends, there's always a light in your eye and you're always so happy. And I had to have you come on and talk about it so that other people can be inspired to have girlfriends of their own.
It's possible.
So thank you for coming on
You're
Tami
welcome.
Live.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Miss Tami.
Of course. Love the curls. Love the Omi dress. I know that's right.
Because you are Omi girl.
I'm an Omi girl.
That's right.
Tami Live will be right back.
You're watching JTV. You're watching JTV.
Welcome back to Tami Live. Things that make you go, Men versus women. Why is it that when men get into arguments, men can have heated arguments, and the next day they dab each other, they move on. But for women, if we get in arguments, some of us stop talking to each other for years. What is up with that? Is it that women take things a little more personal than men do? Is it that we're just more sensitive beings? I don't know what it is, but I've always wondered, why is that? Why is it that women can just stop talking? You could have been a friend with someone for years, and all of a sudden one argument, I don't want anything to do with that person. Whereas men just seem to throw it off. I want to say that I prefer the men's side of things in this respect. It's just blow it off. Things are just not that serious. So if you're one of those people who've gotten a little tiff with somebody and you've stopped speaking to them, whenever you see them, your whole body tenses up, just know it's not good for your body either. So maybe we should just stop doing that. Things that make you go, Welcome back to Tami Live. It's now time for Tami's highlights. Today we are highlighting the Prison Fellowship BVI. Yes, this segment is proudly sponsored by SCA Cricky Law Firm. I am now here with Dr. Robert Wright. He is the Executive Director of the Prison Fellowship BVI, and now we're going to have a little discussion about the wonderful, amazing work that they're doing here locally and internationally. How are you?
I'm fine, my love. Thank you for having me.
Of course, I definitely wanted to highlight Prison Fellowship BVI because you guys are doing fantastic things. So tell us some things of the works that you're doing.
First of all, let me just say what our organization is about. We are a ministry that is dedicated to the rehabilitation of prisoners, but that's not all. We also deal with victims of crime, children of prisoners, families affected in the community by criminals. A lot of people today are working on the youth, and that is a problem that needs to be worked on. But there's a certain element of society that once they are in prison, what happens to them when they come out?
Right.
We have an issue here in the British Virgin Islands and worldwide that if all you get out of prison is prison time, then nothing was served.
Exactly.
We have to have ways to reconstruct lives, to put families back together, and to keep people from getting the revolving door of going in and out of the prison system. All of these things have to be worked on. On a local level, one of the highlights of our local prison ministry is that we have a halfway house, and we've built it without a single government dollar. And we have kept 4 prison inmates off the streets. Our ministry is a combination of the work of the church, the ex-inmates' family, and our prison ministry. That might not seem like much in a country like this where there's only 1 prison, as opposed to somewhere like Canada where you have 30 prisons across the country. But those 4 guys who are off the streets, who now don't have to worry about a place to stay at night, and now don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from. They still have the struggles of life, but they're not around searching for ways to do damage in order to survive, in order to go back. So our local prison ministry is dedicated to the inmates' children, because when you send somebody to jail, you also send their family. The victims of crime, and I want to make that clear. Could you imagine what we would be like if a guy got out of jail and then went to make restitution to the person that he robbed?
Right.
I've been a victim of crime. I know how it feels to have your house robbed, that helpless feeling, the fact that all your possessions are gone. So we try to rebuild lives, and I think that we are doing an excellent job in an unpopular and unpopular ministry.
Absolutely. Internationally?
Internationally, in front of you, you have some of the samples of some of the things that are being done from the various prison ministries worldwide, from Asia, Colombia, all around the world, the United States, Rebuilding Fathers, musical projects, everything that is being done in order to ensure that lives are transformed. And it comes down to basically out for life. That is one of the things that we intend to have. We have to stop this revolving door cycle of people going back to prison.
Right. Now, I love to highlight wonderful things. That's what Tami Life is all about. But I want you now to speak to that person who is still with the mindset of judging people who have been to prison and who are coming out really trying to make a better step in life. What do you say to that person who says, oh, you've been to jail, I just don't want anything to do with you? Please inspire them to shift the way they think.
Well, I think that the bottom line is we have to sanctify people with truth. And the truth of the matter is, no matter how you look at it, from what point of view, I could go on a long time, but very succinctly and very shortly, if you're a Christian, then you have to know that most of the New Testament was written in jail. Okay, by people. If you are somebody who's not Christian, but you believe in a better way of life, then all your New Age thinking, all your philosophy, it comes back down to the same thing: rehabilitation and restoration. In order for lives to be transformed, work has to be done in certain areas, period. That's it, that's all. And the work that has to be done from a caring point of view. We have to inspire people to change lives so that their lives can in turn inspire people to change lives. People are tired of hearing sermons. They want to start singing some. And the best way that we can do is point to examples in the community of people who have come out, who are now standing up, who are doing the right thing. I tell prisoners all the time, your condition is not your conclusion. And the only thing that you're supposed to do with this prison is come out so you can go back and bring somebody else out. And that's what our ministry is all about.
Dr. Robert Wright, thank you so much.
Thank you for taking the time to have us. God bless you.
Of course. God bless you too. Tami Live, Tami's Highlights, proudly sponsored by SCA Cricky Law Firm. We will be right back.
You're watching JTV.
Welcome back to Tami Live. If you've tuned in for the whole show, I know you're just as educated as I am about girlfriends, about this sisterhood, and how wonderful it can be. I know that there are women who have been through the roller coaster of friendships, and maybe you haven't found someone who's trusting. Maybe you found someone who, spoke ill about you. Maybe you found someone who, when others were speaking badly about you, she just stood there and did nothing about it. But I believe through Pat's discussion today, we've learned that it does exist, and when it does, it is a beautiful, wonderful experience. And I don't think you should just give up on things that could be better for you. One of the points that Pat made today that I'm really going to hold true is that, there are people that come into your life, but they're not supposed to be there forever. And it's true. I think some of us do feel that way, that some people are supposed to be in my life forever. But as Pat said, some people come into your life for a reason, and maybe you should just celebrate that moment and be grateful that they're there for that particular purpose. But you must always be happy within yourself before you can allow anyone to come and share your space with you. Here is to life and the living of it. Tami Live, just be happy. See you next time.
Tami Live is sponsored by Umi Fashions, Norman Allen Photography, Premier Dentals, Digi Lifestyles, and JTV.
Wardrobe provided by Umi Fashions.